Yeah. Travel ride. Skip. You go. Travel ride. Yeah. Travel ride. Yeah. It's the Travel Rap Podcast. What's really good, y'all, and welcome to the Travel Rap Podcast, the place where the art of storytelling meets the world of travel. I am your host, Frank Nitt, and for today's destination, we're going to sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. But our story doesn't start there. Our story starts in Los Angeles. So I'm in Los Angeles, and I get a phone call from one of the homeboys, and he says, "Yo, Frank, check this out. Tomorrow morning, I got to go to Vegas because I'm buying a house. So I got to go look at this crib, and I'm probably going to purchase it tomorrow. You want to hop in the whip and ride with me up to Vegas tomorrow and go check out this crib?" I said, "Well, of course, yeah, let's go to Vegas." So he says, "Okay, I'll be through there first thing in the morning. We're going to drive out, meet with the guy, and blase split." So the next morning comes. I don't hear from him at all day. Now, let me say this, that he's a busy guy. So, it wasn't like I got upset or anything. I assumed something came up, and it just didn't happen, right? So around 7:30 p.m. the next day, he calls me. He says, "Frank, I'm about to head out to Vegas. I'm about to come by and pick you up." So I'm thinking, hey, okay, it's 8 o'clock at night. It's like a 4-hour drive to Vegas. What house is we going to see at midnight? We ain't going to see no crib. Then he says, "Yo, I'm probably gonna grab us some rooms up there, so bring some clothes for the next day." So, okay, cool. So he picks me up, make this drive to Vegas. Now when he picks me up, he has his homeboy with him, from where he's from, right? From his city. So I don't know the guy, but it's his homeboy, so he's my homeboy now, right? Like, so we all three take this trip. Now we get there, we got rooms at the MGM Grand. We stay there. We hang out. It just so happened that there's a porn convention and like some type of clothing convention going on at the same time. So it's a festive thing. We hang out for a little while, and then we go crash out in the rooms. The next morning we get up, it's super early. His realtor from LA is meeting us there because he's helping him deal with the realtor in Vegas to find a crib. So basically, here's how it's set up. His realtor has a list of cribs. Now, I thought we was going to see one crib. No, he had a list of cribs. So for the full day, we're going after house, into house, into house, into house. We had to see about 30, and these are not like small baby cribs. We talking, $1 million houses, right? All over, down by the strip, out in the suburbs, everywhere, right? Like, so we go house after house after house after house. So now it's 7 o'clock that evening, and we go to this house, and it's the last house on the list. And we go to the house, and we walk in the door, and my homeboy who's buying the house says, "This is it." We ain't even walked through the crib all the way yet. He said, "This is it. This is the house. I'm getting this house." So he walks through the crib. We check everything out. He comes back downstairs, and he says, "You know what? Yeah, get the paperwork. This is the house." And then he went upstairs and took a shit in the main bathroom. Right? So he made sure it was his house. Nobody else gets this house. I marked my territory. It's over. This is my house. Right? So after that, we finished looking at the crib, and the realtor from LA calls the realtor from Vegas so he could bring the paperwork so my guy can sign the paperwork and purchase the house and be done with it, right? So as we're doing this, when he took off to go use the bathroom upstairs, quietly as kept, I went to the guest bathroom and tore it down. Tore it down. The third homeboy that was with us decided to put on some swim trunks. And he went and jumped in the pool. Now, the pool was clean. It was beautiful. It was a really nice crib and a nice pool, right? He jumped in the pool. Splash. So he's back there swimming. Squish, right? So, okay. Great. So, now, the other realtor, the Vegas realtor, shows up to the house. And he has the paperwork. And now we all in the crib. And they do the paperwork. And he signed. and they do the fund transfer thingy, and he get so it's all transactions done. This is technically he just purchased this house, right? So everybody gets ready to go. Now, mind you, we done been there for a little while. My man was in the back doing breaststrokes. Uh, me and the homie came out on the balconies and was all in the backyard. Just we because he was buying a house. It's his house, right? So at any rate, as we get ready to go, now there's myself, my homeboy, his homeboy, and two realtors. Now it's kind of like the United Nations around there because I'm the black guy. There's an Indian, a Filipino, and two white dudes. Mind you, we're in Vegas, right? So, and Vegas is very multicultural, so But at any rate, as we walk out the door, for some reason, Frank goes first. And as I stroll out the door, I come out the front door and get enough space where all five of us get out of the house, and I see Las Vegas PD. Not only do I see Las Vegas PD, it's 3 officers. Everybody has their service weapons out and trained at our faces. Right? So we come out the house, and it's 3 Vegas cops with guns at our face. Right? And of course, the immediate reaction is, whoa, hey, hands up, right? So they begin to, hey, what are y'all doing here? We got calls of somebody breaking in this house. Now I'm doing this because the gun is all in my face. the police service weapon is right here, right? So he's like, hey, what y'all doing here? We got calls of a break-in, right? So the realtor, the Vegas realtor, begins to explain, hey, wait a minute. I'm the realtor for this crib. This is another realtor. This guy's purchasing the house. These are the people that's with him. Blah, right? At the same time all this is happening, the actual owner of the house who's selling the house has another home in that same neighborhood. So he hears about this and pulls up, right? So he's now here too. So the realtor from Vegas and my guy and the realtor from the U.S., from California, goes and they go over there in the corner and they have a powwow. And I guess they're explaining, hey, he just signed the paperwork, he got the check, whatever. So while that's happening, me and the Filipino guy is there. And the other 2 cops are still there, right? Because now there's like their boss, the sergeant, is over there with the realtor and the homeowner. And they're standing there. Now, mind you, pistol still trained on my face. And it's 2 Spanish folk and a female cop is affixed on me, and the other cop is affixed on the homeboy. Guns out. And now they have our IDs, mind you. They have our IDs, and they've started running our IDs. You know how they, on a little thing, give me the ID, right? So, no wants, no warrants. Frank is not a criminal. These guys I'm with are definitely not criminals. So, you know what I'm saying? So nothing comes back. So, after they get the explanation with the sergeant and the homeowner and the realtors and my homeboy that's buying a crib, he says, hey, all good, you can lower your weapons. The one guy lowers his weapon and then proceeds to give his ID back to the homeboy, the Filipino homeboy. This other cop, no, she's not putting that gun down. That gun is in my face. And she's like this. And he's like, hey, it's okay. And she's like, well, no, I didn't get anything back on his ID. And she kept the gun in my face. So much so that her sergeant had to come over to her and tell her, put your gun down. It's okay. Like, she was ready to put one in Frank's face. Pause. Twice. Because that is not a joke. Any false moves, if I would have blinked wrong, anything, it would have been my day that day. I tell you. She didn't want to put that gun down. So, I say all that to say this. Be careful out in the world, man. It's a dangerous place to be in. Things happen, and it's not always your fault. So you got to be mindful and be careful. If I had been irate or out of my mind, I probably wouldn't be talking to y'all today, or I would have had half my face gone, because he had to come to her and make her follow orders. Even though he told her twice it was okay, he had to come to her and tell her, because she had that gun in my face. And maybe I had the complexion, but it wasn't for the protection. She was not trying to protect me. She was protecting herself, I would assume. But at any rate, Travel Rap Podcast, boy Frank Nitt. Travel safe, y'all. Y'all know what it is. See y'all next time. Peace. Yeah. Travel Rap. Travel Rap. Skip. You go. Travel Rap. Travel Rap. Yeah. Travel Rap. Travel Rap. Yeah. It's the Travel Rap Podcast.